Hey y'all, just got back from spending some time out at the intersection of Willie Street and Baldwin where Corey Ruiz was killed by Madison police just over a week ago. And I wanted to take a few minutes to just share some of my thoughts and reflections with you. But first, I think I just want to speak briefly to the tragedy of Corey's death itself. As a pastor and a father and as a black man, my heart is pretty broken right now, to be honest. And it's been a struggle to find the words to communicate sort of what I've been thinking and feeling since I learned of Corey's death at the hands of Madison police. In his book, The Cross and the Lynching Tree, the theologian James Cone talks about the connections between the crucifixion of Jesus and lynchings in the United States. And that book is on my mind right now because it's hard for me to see Corey's death as anything other than a lynching. There have been a lot of stories about Corey that are coming out in the news about his criminal history and the way he was known to police and his body being dangerous or a threat, the knife that he was allegedly holding. And I hear all of those things and I hear the same kinds of stories that they told to justify the crucifixion of Jesus. I hear the same kinds of stories that they use to justify the lynchings of hundreds and thousands of black men and women and children across the United States. I hear the same kinds of stories that we heard after the death of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor and Trayvon Martin and so many others. We've heard this story before, but it does not hurt any less to hear it again. And I think it's because of those connections that I see that my time at the corner of William Baldwin felt so holy. I cannot urge you enough. If you are in Madison right now, I know many of you are away for the summer, but if you're in Madison right now, please take some time to travel down to that intersection and be in the space where Corey died. Take your time to look at the art that people have created in his memory, the flowers that have been laid on the street, the planters that people have set up to bring new life from that place of death. It is hard to capture again in words the holiness of that place, but it is a place that has been made holy by the love and the labor of people who are committed to ensuring that this kind of injustice does not happen again. And that those who knew Corey and called him friends have a place where their needs can be met too. What I saw there was also people making a way where it seems like there is no way. That's what God's people have always done. It's what we've always been called to do. And I urge you to find a way to be a part of it. You can just show up with a case of water or a bag of ice or some charcoal or some food that needs to be given away. They're regularly sharing lists of needs. And I know Cameron, among others, have been sharing those needs with our community via Discord. And if you're connected with us there, please pay attention to those needs as they're shared and contribute as you can. There is even a whiteboard at the intersection that says, want to help? Here's how you can help. And there's a list of things you can do. So if you've been wondering, what can I do to be in solidarity, to do more than just thoughts and prayers? Y'all, there's so much for us to do. And the first step is going. So I'm finishing up in my office because I wanted to end the video with some recommendations for things that y'all can read if you want to learn more, think more, understand this more from a faith perspective and from a political perspective. So these might not be the books other people would recommend, but they are the ones that I would recommend, and I don't like to recommend things I haven't read. These are the ones on my shelf, so here we go. First up, one I mentioned in the beginning, The Cross and the Lynching Tree by James Cone. If you want to understand the connections between violence against Black people in the United States and the crucifixion of Jesus, this is a great place to start. Next is Stand Your Ground, Black Bodies and the Justice of God by Kelly Brown Douglas. This is another fantastic book, and if you want to understand more about the theological ideas behind Stand Your Ground laws, some of the other laws that allow violence to be used against Black people, both by the state and by non-state actors, this is a great place to start. Next, we have We Do This Till We Free Us, Abolitionist Organizing and Transforming Justice by Mariam Kaba. This is a collection of essays from a renowned and long-time organizer in the United States, abolitionist organizer. If you've been hearing the word abolition and you're wondering, what does that mean? What does it mean to abolish the police? What do we do with all the criminals after we abolish the police? This is a great place to start. And lastly, Becoming Abolitionists, Police Protests and the Pursuit of Freedom by Derek Purnell. Another really great book to help you learn more about police abolition and the abolition of incarceration in the United States. It's a little more narrative-based than We Do This Till We Free Us, but both of these books are excellent. Read them both in the same summer, and you'll learn a lot.